Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? This is Easy Drawings, and what I'm using right now is I'm using Photoshop. I believe this is CS7, and I'm doing kind of a creature head demo. I showed you kind of the bare bones part of it. I just kind of meshed in a lot of shapes. I didn't think the start was really that necessary. Um, I'm using a Wacom tablet, and I'm also using Photoshop. I know Photoshop does something different now. You don't need the program anymore. I believe what happens now is they do it through a subscription base, and I'll put a link in the description if you guys don't have Photoshop. I'll put one of those, and then I'll also put a link on the Wacom tablet because I think a Wacom tablet is 100% necessary. And a Wacom tablet is basically a little pad so that you can use it like a pencil, like you can handle a pencil instead of doing all this with a mouse, which I think is almost impossible, but I have known people to do that in the past. So right now what I'm doing is I wanted to kind of create I was another creature head design, and I was like upper body design, and I made him initially purple, pretty flat purple, and now I'm trying to add some dimensions into them. But what you're doing usually when I start everything, it's like, what am I going to push forward, and what am I gonna pull forward, I guess, and what am I gonna push back. And like in this case, it's these lines, like within the tendrils. There's a whole lot going on, so I'm kind of like trying to sort it out. I'm dabbing in a lot of different little areas to give it some texture. As you can see, I did that. I just kind of like dotted it around. I literally just kind of dotted it around. And going in here and just kind of fixing the pattern. The thing about a lot of the kind of my creature designs with at least in this fashion, that would be a lot of it is the initial stuff is extremely fast, and then it kind of starts to turn to noodling around. I constantly zoom in and out, just trying to figure out, kind of the image as a whole, because you want to see how the image reads as a whole. Excuse me. I wanted to make it asymmetrical. I wanted that left eye smaller than the right eye. I just start kind of flattening layers out. I know it's a bad thing, it's a bad habit, but I like flattening layers out just to kind of like just have what I have. Going in here with his tentacle coming out of his face. Putting in some of the crinkles. I know he's got kind of like a slightly angry look. I also kind of thought of Krang from Ninja Turtles when I was thinking of it, when I was doing this. Kind of like a brain slash skull slash I don't know, tentacle head. Going in here with trying to straighten things out. That's one of the hardest things about this, is just straightening out, kind of making things read clearly. So some people were asking me, like, with Photoshop, is Photoshop would a Wacom tablet be necessary? Would be those tablets I talked about, instead of using a mouse? And I think 100% yes. I think it's absolutely necessary. I guess if you, I know one guy who does Illustrator and he uses a mouse, but I don't know. Like for Photoshop, this painting style, like where you need the pressure sensitivity. No, I think a Wacom is absolutely, but they're not that expensive. I think they're 150 bucks ish. I think I have a Wacom Intuos 2, and I also have excuse me. I also have a Cintiq. Sorry, it's like late at night, by the way. Super late at night here. Going here and trying to push things back. There's a danger of overworking stuff, and that's something I have to watch out for consistently. I'm trying to sharpen some of these shapes right here from the glowing light. Taking out certain segments. I just thought the overall form wasn't reading well. Pulling these tentacles forward again. I think another question that came up to me was the kind of like, do you need to do digital? You know, I mean, it would if you want to work in the game industry, yeah. If you want to work in movie industry, yeah, most likely yes. I mean, there are some guys that don't need that, but honestly, like 99% of them do. Yeah, you really much need to know like digital painting, digital drawing, you know, just kind of sketching around. There's this kind of curve as well. Like learning to paint normally obviously helps you out a lot. You know, it's really highly recommend that you know how to paint first, and then you know how to, you know, draw. I'm sorry, then you learn how to digital paint. But yeah, it's pretty much it's one of the most effective ways to paint right now. I heard a lot of weird stuff about it too. Like I almost never run into people that have an issue with it. Sometimes I'll run into somebody over the age of 40 or 50, usually over the age of 50, and they'll have a big issue. They'll treat it like it's subhuman. But yeah, no, I don't really think about that stuff. It doesn't occur to me. Using the lasso tool to kind of pull out some shapes. Trying to figure out where I'm going to make certain things glow or I'm not, where the highlights are going to be. Because, like I said, a lot of it is deciding what's going on. Going in here further. Kind of pushing in. I'd say at this point it's just a lot of just like what can I do here, what can I do there, you know. It's really dangerously close to being overworked, so I have to watch out for that. I think one of the coolest things ever would be being able to draw things from your mind and then kind of being able to color them. Color something that I haven't, you know, I only know a decent amount about. I usually start with one color and then or two colors, and then try to add a little bit more like I'm doing now. A lot of these are just two colors. And I try to add a hot and a cold. The cold would be obviously the armor, and the hot, well, actually it's still kind of a cold color. I didn't realize that, purple. And the hot would probably come from the orange over there. It'll turn more yellow. A lot of this, like I said, learning curve. Learning curve, if you already know how to paint and you already know how to draw, it's not very bad. It's learning curve's pretty good with digital. I get people that worry about that. It's not learning an entirely new skill because you already know how to draw, so you're using the same stuff, you know, value, proportion, all that stuff. And plus, like I said, it's probably it's quicker. It's much quicker. It's probably a third as fast as using paint, because you don't have to deal with a mess. So I'm putting this out there right now. I want to ask you guys, what do you want to learn to draw? I want a lot of requests, you know, when it comes to like fantasy art or zombies, or what do you want to do? You know, what do you want to draw and or paint, or put that in the comments below, because I really want to know about that. That's a big thing for me. Or maybe more details on this program. I could probably do that. Maybe like a series of, way more details on Photoshop itself. If you don't know how to use Photoshop, I could maybe do it like the very basics for Photoshop. I could do that if you want. But just like let me know. Like throw that out there now in the comments now, so I can really look at it. Because I won't really know what you guys want unless you guys tell me. And I want to update this channel a lot more. I've just been getting really on this craze of uh, these video crazes. I really like doing this. So go in here, change the color spectrum. Trying to sharpen that shape out. And like I said, the Elastic tool is an amazing tool. Going back and forth. Darkening some areas. I want there to be a focal point within the light area, well, within the main area. So I'm trying to kind of throw shadows in some places. Like, it's just too busy everywhere. So that's kind of what's bugging me about it. Continue to go in, fixing edges. Normally it'd be easier, I could just erase, but I flattened the layer onto the black, so now I'm kind of repairing it in a different way. Illustrator is something I use once in a while. Illustrator is more vectoring, things of that sort. It's less painterly. It's more like where you use it for graphics, more for like skateboards, stuff like that, graphic design. And I'm nearing toward the end. I'm still just fixing a few things. Very much nearing toward the very end of the process. I'm trying to throw a little bit of texture here and there. That was one of the biggest stickler things that they had us do in school, was the kind of, like, vectoring issue. I'm sorry, not vectoring, the texturing issue. Why is something textured while something else is not? Or why is it all the same texture? So I try to change that up a bit. Another thing with digital, it's I think one of the quickest things to pick up, in my opinion. It's more of a mental thing. I think people that don't want to pick it up, or they just think it's like learning a new thing. You have to kind of get over that. If you're an artist, you can take a rusty nail and draw something on the pavement. All that stuff's in your head. You're not relearning anything. Continue to go in and repair some of the edges here. Going with a different layer to get this kind of glow effect. Kind of flipping it upside down just to see what's up, to kind of get a better eye on it. Moving in here and with the edges. I turned down the contrast. I'm sorry, I turned down the saturation. I just thought it was too saturated, so I turned it down a bit. And I'm just throwing in a little value over the kind of the eyes, a little bit. I just want them to be maybe a little bit darker. I'm toying with that, changing the brushes. And just trying to find the right setting. Or I can just put it in softly. And that's pretty much the end of it. I'm going to leave it at this stage. I really want to thank you guys. I appreciate you watching. It's been a lot of fun doing this, and I want to do more. If you want to see more of these, like I said, let me know. Let me know what you want, and I'll try to cater to that. What is it you need help with, or what kind of demonstrations do you want? And that's about the end of the video. But yeah, let me know what you need, guys, and I will be trying to update this channel a lot. You know, anything like video game related stuff like that. So, see you later, guys. Thanks. Okay, guys, cool. Hope you liked the video, and I want to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Subscribe on the upper left-hand corner. On the top right-hand corner is this cool art case that we sell. It's something I started on Kickstarter a long time ago, and I've been selling very consistently even now. But check it out if you want to buy it. I mean, you know, click the link. Also, bottom right-hand corner is my main channel with all, you know, kind of more varied things. You can always go there and sub to that on the bottom right-hand corner. Thanks a lot, guys. See ya.